Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I'd love to share with you the trades I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take a small account to $100,000 as a rookie day trader. I started this journey back in December with $1,000. I've added a little bit of cash since then, which you'll see today. But the account overall is up about 27% on the year, which I am happy about. It has been higher. It's been closer to 50%. But I've had a few drawdowns as I'm learning how to navigate a volatile market. I think in January, February, March-ish timeframe, small caps started to take a hit. I didn't adjust properly. I've also made some other mistakes along the way that I've learned from, and now I'm just searching for kind of small wins, taking less risk, learning as much as possible to try to prepare myself for this PDT rule change in June. So for those who don't know, the PDT rule, I'm not going to sum the whole thing up, but basically on my cash account, that's about anywhere between $5,000 and $6,000, depending on how well we're doing. I can only trade up to that amount each day. Now, when the PDT rule is lifted here in June, I'll convert this account over to a margin account. I'll also tell them to turn off the leverage, and I also want to turn off shorting, which I'll double up on that with a script and dash trader as well. Because I don't really want to short stocks. And I'll be able to trade my unsettled cash in a revolving door format as long as I keep my balance of above $2,000. I believe that's how it's going to work. It doesn't really matter to me as long as I can trade like $1,000. If I can trade $500 over and over and over again all day, or $1,000 over and over and over again all day, I would be very happy about that. Like today, I'm getting low on buying power, and there's been a couple moves since I started recording this video. I won't be able to get in on those moves. I still have some buying power left, but I want to save it just in case something really pops off today before lunch. Anyway, let's get into a couple of the things that I did not trade today. I'm green overall today, but there were some stocks that hit the scanner that you're probably going to wonder why I didn't trade some of these stocks. So the first one would be QTEX. This morning, it ran up from under 90 cents up to $1.53 before I could trade it. And then I think at 7 a.m. when I can actually trade this thing, where did it go? Right here. I mean, geez, man, there's a couple stocks at 7 o'clock this morning that just went crazy. So right at 7 o'clock when I can start trading on my Charles Schwab account through Dash Trader, which you see here. This is Dash Trader right here. It's connected via the Charles Schwab API. It's the interface I use instead of Thinkorswim. This thing goes from, crosses over VWAP and then comes up to 42 cents, comes back down, opens, shoots up. Great opportunity there. I didn't get in because I don't like the float, 42 million. I like to trade things under 20 million float. However, I am starting to trade price action more. So had this move happened maybe after the bell, I probably would have entertained it a little bit more. I'm just before the bell, I'm trying to stick to some rules. After the bell, I'm learning how to trade that a little bit differently. By the way, half of what I made today was after the bell. Well, if you've been following along for a while now, that's been a very difficult time frame for me, and I've been practicing the heck out of it in the sim. And so today, not only green feels like a pretty good win because I was green in some areas of the normal trading time frame, which is great. So it didn't trade this because it was high float. And then let's go over to MNTS. This one, again at 7 a.m. this morning. So you had a couple options this morning at 7. My scanner was just, oh man. Problem is that one was high float. And this one was above my price range. Now I'm starting to get more familiar in this price range. So right now this thing at 7 o'clock went from $10.20 up to $12.87. That's a pretty big gap. That's a pretty good run, right? And awesome. Let me hit auto on this. Awesome, pretty good volume here too. So comes up here. You got a couple entries here if you want. You get this nice little flag here. I'm sorry, I just saw my scanner just kind of blinking a stock at me. And then this candle opens, makes a new high, and rips up from 1180 all the way up to 1280 basically. So I missed this opportunity. I wanted in. And as I get more comfortable with getting into a trade, recognizing it's not working and getting out, I'll get more comfortable with things like this. And I'm starting to kind of feel it. I'm starting to get there because I would have loved, there's no reason why you can't get in here and give it a try, right? So it comes down right here, it opens, it pops down, and then starts to rise up above this previous candle, and there's momentum, the scanner's going off, the tape is green, which is this section right here. Right here you see gray, red, and green. I have gray. Most people use white. Red is things being bought through the, things being sold through the bid, and then green is things being bought through the ask, and then white or gray is anything in the spread. I can't tell if these grays or whites are buying or selling. I could, based on stock price, right? So I could look at the last and I could tell based on that. Like I can tell. And then there's also an arrow here that tells me whether the price is going up or down. But anyway, that's something I actually like that Thinkorswim did a little bit better. It colored the direction the sale was going. Didn't matter if it was in the spread or not. There might even be a configuration you can do a Dash Trader to do that as well. Anyway, didn't trade MNTS, and it's made quite a run today. Let's take a look at the, it went all the way up to $15. Insane run right here. Insane run. I was watching it in this zone right in here. As it came down right here, I was watching as this candle right here made a new high. And I'm like, I could maybe get in there. I was like, it's just too high. It's too high. It's too high of a price for me to feel comfortable, so I didn't do it. And then let's see here. Another one was IQST, which is certainly one that I was interested in. However, the news on this, and this happened this morning this was at 8 a.m. It was earnings-related news. Earnings news. Earnings news or revenue news or something along those lines. And I don't trade earnings news on small caps. I don't trade very well. Now, on large caps, I love trading earnings on large caps. So I don't really do it on this account very much, but I do it on my HSA, on my Roth. I really enjoy that style of trading, as I like to trade the inverse leveraged ETF. So, if NVIDIA's earnings doesn't really matter if they're good or bad, just depends on how the market responds to it, right? So if NVIDIA's earnings or whatever they are, and the market responds to it, and the stock price goes up, $30 a share, eventually it's going to come back down. As it comes back down, I'm not shorting it. I'm buying the leveraged ETF that goes up as the stock goes down. It's risky, but it's the way that I really like to trade. So this stock here, had the right float, 6 million. Had pretty good price action. Honestly, multiple entry points. So like the way I like to trade, comes down here, comes up. There's an entry point at $1.30. And then, this candle opens right here, comes down, goes up over here. There's another entry here for another 10, 15 cents. This candle comes down, opens. This candle opens. It actually turns red, but it did shoot above this, so there could have been another entry there. Now you got a red candle here. This one doesn't count. Then this candle opens, comes down, goes up, and you got another. This is multiple entries here, 150 up to 168, and then it starts to kind of move down. There was entries here. I just didn't take it because I don't like the earnings news. But again, I'm starting to try to figure out how to play price action more instead of specific news. We'll get there. And then there was a penny stock, a couple of them today actually, which isn't surprising. But NC, I have another one up here that I did not mark down. NCRA. This one was all over my scanner today. And you can see why. This is one I would have liked to have traded. NCRA, and that actually reminds me of a video or something I want to share with you guys. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Well, that didn't work very well. Pull it up on YouTube, and I'm just going to pull this up real quick. Okay. So, penny stocks. I'm not great at penny stocks at all. And, where is this video at? Right here. Let's mute that. Okay, and we'll come up over here, pull it up. I'm just pulling up a little interview that I saw recently. One sec, guys. Actually, you guys can probably see this now. So, we'll talk a little bit about penny stocks. Right here is a good example, I think. We'll make this a little bit bigger in just a second. So, I'm not great at penny stocks. That's not new news. And what ends up happening for me is it hits my scanner and I'm watching it and I'm trying to make the, one first candle to make a new high and I always feel like I'm getting it wrong. So like right here, the stock moves up. I marked this line off specifically thinking about this video today. and it's 38 cents, and then so it comes back down. This thing opens, comes back down, and then goes above 38 cents. It rips from 38 cents up to 50 cents. That's a perfect entry. But I'm telling you, more often than not, I get stuck in something like this. This will be like the same kind of scenario. Like don't just forget all this, but like this is something I would get stuck in, where it's like, okay, it comes up, it makes a new high at 72 cents. Opens up, I get in at 72, it goes up, same, it flushes right back down, goes red, and then goes down, and I lose a bunch of money. I'm like, I can't. However, something clicked for me recently in a video I watched over the weekend by a guy by the name of Brendan Hogan, who I believe it's called, what is it called? Drive the Stock Market, DTSM, Drive the Stock Market. He released a video with a guy by the name of, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I'm sorry, my friend. I think it's Ohad Oren. Sorry. A really good trader who really does enjoy penny stocks. And so I watched this video. I'll link this video. It's a really good video, and it's relevant to what I'm talking about here. Let's make this a little bigger here and see if I can show you guys what I'm getting at here. Now, this is going to be a little grainy. That's fine. But what you're seeing here is his buy-sell triggers here. And what I am noticing is that he's buying dips on these penny stocks. He's not buying up here at candle over candle highs and candle over candle highs. No. I rarely saw charts in this video where he bought high. And when he did talk about it, he talked about it being a mistake or a strategy where he intentionally averages down. So my issue with penny stocks is I'm buying high, while this other guy is reading the tape and reading level 2 and learning how to buy the dips and then just getting out. I think it's a 50% win rate he has on this type of thing. So he'd get in on a dip, like down in here somewhere, on a red candle dip down here somewhere, and if it doesn't work, he gets out or takes a loss. If it works, well, then he rides it up and takes a profit. And in some of these cases, right, he gets in, this candle opens, dips down, he buys the dip, rides up, sells right here at the top. So he's buying the bottom. He's trying to buy the bottom. Where what I have been doing is...
I had small size.
Oops. What I have been doing is not that. I have been doing... I have been trying to do candle over candle highs. I've not been buying the dip. So in this scenario, like in this chart, he'd be looking to buy down here and down here and down here and down here, down here, down here, down here, down here. Not me, right? I'm looking to buy a little higher up here. I can't buy up here. Up here, up here, up here, up here. He's just buying much lower than me. He's buying the dips, where my strategy typically is not buying dips. I'm not strong at it. I'm more of a candle over candle high guy, or I am looking now into more like price action momentum. So price action takes me there. I'll kind of go there no matter what the candle is, no matter what the chart is telling me. That's where I'm getting to. Anyway, so I didn't trade this today. It's not my MO, but I'll link that video to you guys. It's a great interview between two traders, and the insight gained from a penny stock trader I thought was valuable enough to share it with you guys. So let's get into the stocks I did trade today. See, YMAT was the first one right here. Come on, baby. Right here. YMAT. Okay, let's just do that real quick. Zoom out. This one, I ended up trading for a small, I traded once, yeah. Very small win, because here's the deal. I got the notification here in this candle, which is fine. I feel like I should have got it a little bit earlier. I'm looking into that. But it might have been because it started off as a penny stock. So the scan I'm using right now doesn't really alert me for penny stocks. It does, but not aggressively. And so it started out under $50, under 50 cents, right? So this first candle moves up, and then this candle forms. I start getting alerted in here. Totally fine. I don't know if I would have traded it. And I came in and looked right in this range, and there was no news. So this thing goes from, I don't know, whatever that is, 44 cents up to over $1 with no news. There was news. It wasn't showing in Charts Watcher. It wasn't showing in my Dash Trader right here where I typically would see it. It wasn't showing in Thinkorswim. It showed in Webull. I don't know if it showed in Day Trade Dash. If you're a Day Trade Dash person, let me know if you saw, on YMAT in this first candle, this 7 6:01 in the morning, if you saw, first of all, if you got alerted in that minute, and second of all, if you saw there was news. I would love to know that from you Dash Trader folks. Send me a screenshot because I don't know if I believe you. So I ended up trying to say, okay, well, maybe I'll get in this. It's over $1, and I'm going to go in for the first candle to make a new high, and I'll set my stop to the previous candle's low, because this is kind of in that price range where, you know, the range is going to be like 10 cents on a candle. So it's easy for me to manage my risk here in a really weird, crazy, psycho way. So as this comes down, I'm looking for the first candle to make a new high. Here is the candle that makes a new high, and I think it's like 117 or 116. I try to get in. So this candle goes up. I try to get in right in here, hoping it would break, you know, and start kind of pushing over this. It doesn't. It rejects and comes back down. My stop is the low of this candle right here. So right at the bottom here, which is like 102. It never hits my stop. I'm watching. Get all the way to this candle. This is longer than I like to be in a trade. And it goes over by like a couple cents, and I just get out. Like, I've hung on too long here. I'm going to get out and just take a little profit. You know, thank goodness we're up like $7. Sweet. And then it just rips without me, which is, you know, typical of some of the trades that I do. And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm happy with this. To me, this is a win. I was green. I think, you know, I would have liked to maybe got out faster, but I did respect my stop that I had set before I entered. I was no rush, just kind of do my thing, made a little profit. Next one was CODX. We're going to skip that one because I traded it multiple times today. No, let's do it. Let's do it. CODX. Look, we're only up $30, but I was grinding, and most of these stocks are higher priced than I would typically, not most of them, but a couple of them are higher priced than I would normally like be trading. I mean, only going in with $500-ish in size. You're just not going to make a lot of money with these higher priced stocks and going in with $500. But a win's a win, and we're just going to chip away at this drawdown, and maybe tomorrow they're lower priced stocks that take off. I don't know. So let's see here, CODX. It took off this morning. I'll make sure I'm in the right time frame. Yeah, okay, great. So this morning it does a little bit of this action right here before I even get out of bed. And then it goes under VWAP. And so I'm not even interested in this stock. I'm not. Now, I looked at it this morning to see what happened back here. So I think it was on my head, but like I'm good. And then right here, it taps VWAP right here. I get a little notification. Okay, so we're okay. We just got to remember that's going down. Then over here, it crosses VWAP right here. I get a notification it crosses VWAP, and I wait. So I'm thinking, what I get in at? Yeah, just I'm trying to go for the break of $7. So this candle comes up, and I'm like, I should have went in. If I was going pure price action, that's where I would have went in. But I'm just, you know, we're still taking it easy here. My stuff in, because of just kind of how it works, my stuff after the bell is all price action. So here is $7. So this candle opens. It starts to kind of like, I don't forget exactly what it did, but it's like hovering right in the range. I get in there. What was the price? It was $6.92. I see a little green on the tape, and it's just hovering around. It drops up, drops down a little bit, and I just decide to get out. I'm out. Get out for like a little loss, manageable loss. I think it was like $6 or something like that. Now, I actually wish I would have been out a little bit faster, but that's okay. I'm out. We're okay. Now, I'm still watching, and price action starts to pick up. And so I just get right back in. I get right back in at, what was it? 7. Yeah, I get back in for the break of 6. So as I get out, it flushes down a little bit, and then this price action starts to move back up. When I see it actually cross over $7, I get in. I got in at 7.06, got out at 7 what? 7.42 or something like that? Yeah. Huh. Is that right? Where are you? Oh, that was the second one. 7.0. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Sorry. 6.86. That's right. So it comes back down here. It flushes. It goes back up here with momentum, and I'm like, it's going to do it. So I go in. I get re-enter it at 6.86 for the break over 7. It goes over 7. I get in. Bam, happy about that. This trade's actually easier on the 10-second chart. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this will just work if I go like this. I'll show you what I was seeing here. Much easier on the 10-second chart to see this specific trade right here. Yeah, right here. So this is kind of the area where I got in and got out, and then we've got this happening right here, and then this candle opens, goes above this. I was not using candlesticks. I was seeing price action, right? So This candle opens with quite a bit of more volume than any of the other candles. Start shooting up. I try to get in as soon as I can. It fills me at like 680, something like that. And as soon as I see it go over $7, I get out for a profit. So it's easier to see on the 10-second chart for that specific trade. And then I went back in again for at 903 on the 903 candle. Back on 1 minute, 903 candle right here. Yeah. This candle, now, I wish I would have went in for the break of that candle right there. That would have been a really good entry. So this comes up, this comes down, this opens, get a little pullback, this shoots above here, would have been my typical entry. We'll call it 715. It shoots all the way up to 750 and great little profit. But in my mind, I was thinking I want to take my next entry for the break of 750. And so it shoots up, and then I get in at like 742. A little early because I want to see if I can get in a tad early for that break. It pops over and bounces right back down, and I didn't get out fast enough. Either that or is that what happened? Let me look at the clock. 9:03:30. I bet you if I go look at the 10-second chart, 10-second chart on 9:03:30. Let's back this up. 1 sec, folks. I have a feeling what actually happened here. Okay, 9:03:30. Let's take a look. Right here. Yeah, it was kind of stagnant in this area. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. So 9:03:30, which is when I was in it. Let's take a look. 9:03:20 to 9:03:29. Yeah, that's unfortunate actually. So I got in and out in this candle right here, and then it actually went up to it in that same minute. It did go up to 754, broke it and came right back down. But to me, because it didn't happen right away when I got in, around in this range right here, because it didn't happen right when I got in, I got out, and that's something I've been practicing. So I got out with like a $1 loss, one penny actually is, and that feels like a win to me. And then I did trade the stock later, which I'll just cover that now before I move to the next stock. I don't know how much you guys want to hear about my trades during the regular trading window, but we'll just do it since we're here. And this is kind of what I was seeing. So I traded this for, looks like a few wins and one almost like break-even trade as this was climbing, and I'm trying to learn how to trade price action after the bell. So what I'm doing here is waiting for my scanner to give me something. And typically I'll hear like, little blings here, and then I'll, like in the case you can see VCIG right here, there's a bunch of alerts going off right here for VCIG, all within like 1 or 2 minutes of like new highs of days, pre-market high, multiple day continuation. Like I'm waiting for something like that. And I'm also waiting for it to hit my sniper alert scanner. When I hear those things, I know that's a stock I need to pay attention to. And at that point now I'm forgetting about the scanner and I'm looking for price action. So I'm talking like a pro, but I've really only been practicing this for like a few weeks, and this is the first time I've tried to really trade it like really legitimate. And so let's look at CODX. So 1254 was my first one right in here. Yeah, right here, this one right here, yeah. So this is an area where I started getting an alert right here. We got to start getting some volume increasing. You got a MACD crossing over, and this thing's crossing over. It's 90 and it's 20 EMA. So it crosses over right here. It opens here. It goes above this candle, which is like, I don't know, 9 something. What did I get in? I got in it. I was trying to get in for the break over like 910. So basically just over that line. So the high of this candle is 908. So as this thing started approaching, I'm like, I'm going to try to get in for like the break of like 910-ish and then just get out in anything over 910. So I think I queued it at like, the fills were a little slow today. I'm going to have to look into that, but I think I queued it at like 908, 907. I got filled at 910, which is fine. It jumped up to 918 and I got out for a profit. And right there I'm thinking, yo, that's a pretty, actually I took some of it out at 918 and some of it out at 920. That's a good trade for me. 8 cents and then 10 cents on the rest of it after the bell is a really good trade for me. That's a win. And then I'm like, okay, I want to stick with this thing, right? So a few minutes later at 1300, so right in here, where are you? Right here. I tried to take another trade for this break over 950. Is that what it was I was trying to do? Let's take a look. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, 42 to 44. Yeah, right in here. Oh, I was trying to see. Yeah, I had this marked off. This 945 marked off. This line marked off right here. It was the high of day, I think. Yeah, this was the high of day, and I was seeing if it would retrace back up here. This is what I was trying to play. This move. Obviously, it has done really well since then, but it didn't work for me in the moment. So I was trying to go in for the break of the new high of day. So 945. So I tried to get in at like 942 in this candle right here. And the problem is this candle is already pretty darn extended. Is this when I got in? 1300. Yeah, I got in at the end of this candle. Maybe I could have waited here, but again, I'm not looking at candles. I'm looking at price action. So as this thing is starting to push 945 and I'm seeing a little bit of buying on the tape right in this moment, I get in for that push. I think it did hit 950, and I didn't get out. And then what did I do? I think I ended up getting out for like a 2-cent profit. Yeah, it came back down from 945 and I got out for like a little 2-cent profit. And that's fine. That feels okay. And then I tried to trade it again a couple minutes later at 02 in this range for 956. Oh yeah, for the break of I bought at 949. I was trying to go for the break of 950. Somewhere in what candle was this? What candle was at 950? Was right at 1300. Yeah, 1302. So right here, yeah. This candle right here, as it was trying to break, and it went a little higher, unfortunately, but not for me. As it was trying to break 950, I got in at 949. It goes up to 956. That was actually pretty good, actually, now that I think about it. That was great, actually. I mean, it went up to 960, so it is what it is, but took it off the table, got a good 4 or 5 cents right there on that trade. And then the last trade I made on it was at 1305, right here on this one red candle here, unfortunately. And I think here I was trying to get in. I saw some price action. I was trying to see if it would go above 950 again. And let's see. So I got it at 947, out at 950. Is that right? I got in right at 950. Yeah, that was kind of frustrating, actually. I was trying to get in a little bit lower than 950. So as this candle was kind of moving up, let me scoot this in a little bit and make this. Yeah, this is actually not the best trade, but I'm happy I got out when I recognized it wasn't going to work. So I got in on this candle for the break of 950. I was trying to do another break at 950 as this candle kind of came down and was coming back up, and it didn't work, and I just got out. And some of it was for a loss, and some of it was for break even. And I think as I got out, it did push up a little bit, which is fine. But either way, this is kind of a long video to go over, some of these things. And I don't know if this is how I'm going to be doing these when, if I'm making a ton of trades throughout the day, and maybe I'll just highlight a couple of the trades or like maybe my main entry points for a trade. But for me, this really helps me process my thoughts. Especially as I'm learning how to trade in the normal trading window based off of my scanner and then price action alone. I'm not entering these trades that you just saw without some kind of confirmation from the tape combined with the level 2. And I will talk about that more. I will record some more trades and talk about what I'm trying to see. I've been asked that a couple times. What I'm trying to see on the level 2 and the tape to decide if I'm actually going to enter in conjunction with trying to go in on like half and whole dollars, and in some cases maybe not half and whole dollars. Maybe it's even for the break of 920 or 925 or 930, 940. Just kind of depends. But I don't know. Pretty good win for me today. Let me see if I can get you guys the chart. 1 second here. The shows. Where are you? Right here. Okay. So this is what we got going on right now. This isn't going to look too great as I try to figure out what the heck I'm doing. There you go. Okay. So this is our new dashboard. I'm moving from a different dashboard, but so there's some data here that's not accurate. For example, my win rate is not accurate. However, this is accurate since I've been putting the data in this chart. So something to be aware of. My win rate's around 65%. And but I've only been doing this chart let's see. I'm still working on the counter. I'll counter here. It's for like a week and like a couple days. And as I'm kind of moving some stuff around. So, I mean, this does show you that in the last 5 or 6 trade days, I'm at a 50% win rate. That needs to come up. And so I'm working on that. Today, I think, was a step in the right direction. But the account is up 26% overall and up $1,124. I'm very happy with how that is going, and hopefully tomorrow it'll be maybe some lower price stocks that'll give me some action and I can make a little bit more money. But I am looking forward to when the PDT rule changes, because I'm not a seasoned veteran profitable, well, I'm profitable, but really profitable trader, so I don't have the luxury of being able to only trade in pre-market, especially when the PDT rule starts. If I can have an option, and I've trained myself to be able to trade a little bit more in some different windows to be able to capitalize on some of that stuff. And so that's what I'm practicing. I'm practicing multiple trades a day. There's some people who are saying that I'm overtrading, and they look at this today and say I'm overtrading. I'm really trying to learn how to get out quickly and how to read price action and get in and get out off that price action. I can continue to do it in the sim, but I have been practicing a lot in the sim. And I did sim work today. I just have it hidden in here, but I lost like, I don't know, $100 in the sim or something today. I forget what it was. Practicing different things with penny stocks. And I feel like this is all experience I will need. Like right now, I don't have much buying power left. If I did, there's definitely a couple moves I would have made, even while I was recording this video, until I get to a point where like I become a successful, profitable trader. That's kind of how I feel about it. So we'll see how that pans out in the future. I hope you guys were green today. This is another lengthy video. If you stayed for the whole thing, God bless you. If you cut it off early, God bless you too. Have a great day.